3 things that are making your skin worse. There are 3 treatments or 3 little special advanced skincare things that I have seen going around on TikTok and on Instagram. And when done properly, they're amazing, but I see a lot of people messing up. And when done wrong, these can actually make your skin worse. I have personally struggled with some of these. I'm very glad that I've had over 10 years of learning and understanding. What is it, 13 years now? Ha! Damn! I first went to aesthetic school in like 2008. Damn, time flies! Well, I have been grateful to have skincare be my passion as well as my work, but even I have up. And I want you to learn from my mistakes, learn from the mistakes of people on the TikTokies and the Instagrams, and make sure that you're not doing this to your skin so you can get the benefits of these treatments without destroying your face. And we're gonna start with my dearly beloved dermaplaning. That's right, dermaplaning, aka female or vellus hair face shaving, is fantastic. But if done wrong, baby, it can you up. Dermaplaning can be done wet or dry, but it's basically using a small blade or a dermaplaner to shave off the vellus hairs or any little wiry hairs that pop up. It's usually called female face shaving or vellus face shaving. And if done wet, it's usually done over an oil that gives the razor a little bit of glide or slip, or if done dry, it's just done dry at a 45-degree angle. Now, dermaplaning is wonderful because it does help exfoliate the skin, gets rid of dead skin cells, it gets rid of the hair, makes your makeup go on smoother, and really brightens the face. However, if it is done wrong, it can be disastrous. And there are multiple ways that things can go wrong. I'm sure you can imagine dirty blades, unsharpened blades, pressing too hard, shaving over things like moles or raised scars or pimples that actually get pricked and start to bleed. That can be disastrous for the reasons I'm sure you can assume. But a lot of people don't realize that even if you're acne prone or if you're really oily, dermaplaning might be a disaster for you. There are specifically some people who are acne prone who have dermaplaned their face and it has broken out like crazy. It could be that their razor wasn't clean. It could be that they had bacteria on one side of the face and accidentally spread, but most likely it's because the oil in their skin literally has no way to escape. Our hair, our little tiny vellus peach fuzz little patoogies, what is a patoogie? The patoogies that protrude out of your face have a purpose for being there. And if we're removing them for aesthetic purposes or for comfort purposes, we're literally removing one of biology's natural functions. The hair that coats our entire bodies is for sensory purposes. That's why we get goosebumps when we get a little cold or a little scared or our nervous system is stimulated. But on top of that, these hairs literally help our bodies lubricate our skin. Our skin creates oil in our sebaceous glands naturally. But how does the oil get from inside of the skin to the outside of the skin to waterproof us and protect us? It uses our tiny little vellus hairs as like a bridge. It uses the hair as a road to get the oil out onto the surface of the skin. Can be super frustrating because it makes us look oily, and the hair can be super frustrating because it's peach fuzzy and it's hairy, but it has an anatomical purpose. And for some people, they remove it with no problem. But for other people, specifically those who are oily or acne prone, if that oil can't escape the skin, maybe it's getting stuck in the skin. And you know what acne bacteria loves to eat? Sebum. Oil, baby, it's a delicacy. And if that oil is stuck in the skin where the acne bacteria lives and can't escape, you can bet that can lead to some gnarly breakouts for certain people. Now for me, I use exfoliants, I use retinoids, I use things in my skincare routine that help me with my acne and my scarring. Again, I've come a long way from what I used to look like and what I used to struggle with. So I have found ways to dermaplane that make me look and feel my best, and I love dermaplaning, it is great for me. But for some people, it's not right, and if you use a dirty razor, if the razor is dull, if it's unclean, if there's bacteria or certain types of yeast or fungus on it, babe, that can f you up. And I've seen a lot of people do it wrong. Dermaplaning is also a pretty advanced technique. Estheticians and some even barbers, I think, offer it. But if people are doing it at home, you can do it at home quite safely. But if you press too hard, if you use the wrong angle, or if you're going over areas that actually have irritation or pimples already, that can f up your skin. And I've seen too many people do it on TikTok, and I need you to know, dermaplaning can be great for the right person if done correctly. But if not, woo, babe, it can make your skin way worse. You know what else can make your skin way worse? Retinoids. Love these. But babe, if you use a retinoid improperly, it can f you up. Have you heard of retinization? If not, we have an entire video on it. But there are some people, specifically on, you know, TikTok or the internet, who have heard about the magical, wonderful benefits of retinoids. Works for acne, for scarring, for pigmentation, for fine lines and wrinkles. Oh my God, they get their hands on a prescription tube and they use a pea-sized amount. And for them, and sometimes me, a pea is apparently the size of a grape or a quarter. And they just, they literally smack an entire glob on, they rub it across their face, but they don't stop there. Then they seal it in. I just scratched my cheek. They seal it in with petrolatum, with Vaseline, with Selimo jelly. Now, Selimo jelly and retinoids are great. Sandwiching your retinoid is a great technique if done properly, but absolute beginners, here are the benefits. They use way too much. They put it in a thick layer, like a sunscreen layer on their face, and then they trap it on and into their skin with Selimo jelly that is literally like saran wrap on the face. And they do it on wet skin, and wet skin makes retinoids penetrate more. Now, if you're advanced, if you're Dr. Shireen Idris, full strength tret, sandwich it on, no problem. But I see so many beginners putting retinoids on in ways that cause the active ingredient, all trans retinoic acid, to penetrate so deeply. It causes redness, it causes irritation, they're flaking, they're itching. Oh my gosh, it can be so painful. And then people turn around and they're like, retinoids suck, it destroyed my skin. Ah! I know. If you are a skin intellectual, an esthetician, medical esthetician, nurse practitioner, dermatologist, doctor, and you know what the you're doing, go ahead, put your tretinoin on some wet skin. It's gonna penetrate. Go ahead, put on an extra large amount, slap it on. Go ahead, seal it in with Selimo jelly. But if you are sensitive, if you are new to retinoids, if you have not titrated, I'm literally seeing 16-year-olds who've been prescribed tretinoin for their acne, putting on these large globs, and then, you know, oh, I'm gonna moisturize, I'm going to do my slugging on top of my retinoid, and they are literally trapping that in, making it go deep into the skin and causing so much irritation. In the words of Dr. Alexis Steffens, start low and go slow. You can build up over time. Eventually you can get to the point where you're like Dr. Shireen Idris, who can just slap it on her face. But until you're there, baby, take it easy. Otherwise, I just see so many people doing it wrong and up their face. If you really want to do it right, twice a week, an actual pea-sized amount. Put your Selimo jelly, aka your Vaseline, you know, put that on first, then put your tretinoin on. It'll be like a slow release that'll absorb. Great. And then after years of doing it, when you've got your sun protection and everything else down, go ahead, slap that retinoid on wet skin, seal it in like saran wrap with petrolatum jelly, and come back and tell me how great it is, okay? Tell me I was wrong, okay? Okay. Don't f up your skin, babes. I am telling you, I have seen it go wrong so many times. The other thing that I've seen go wrong is Gua Sha, or lymphatic drainage. Again, so many people want the benefits of this, but do it incorrectly. And when done wrong, it can be really intense. A lot of people don't know the history of Gua Sha. It's actually done as an ancient Chinese medicine practice, and the real purpose is actually to scrape and cause redness, aka like bruising in the skin. It's literally done on the backs and on the bodies. If you actually want to support a real traditional Chinese medical practitioner, Lan Xin is one of the best Gua Shas out there. It is real, it is authentic, and she actually educates people on the history of this ancient practice and how it can be beneficial for health purposes. But I see so many people doing Gua Sha wrong or doing lymphatic drainage wrong. Let's talk about lymph nodes. They're all over our entire body. They don't circulate blood the way that our blood vessels, our arteries, and our veins do, but the lymph is actually moved by our muscles, by our bodies moving, by massage. And the lymph fluid, you can think of it as all of the stuff that's stuck in between our capillaries that is just fluid. And when you're sick, your lymph nodes might get puffy. Well, a lot of people want to deal with a puffy face, so they say, I'm going to do lymphatic drainage. But you need to understand the anatomy of your body if you want to do it right. Your lymph nodes are very delicate. You don't have to dig at the skin to stimulate or drain your lymph nodes. Lymphatic drainage is such a light touch. And before I went to aesthetic school back in 2008, I didn't know that. I thought that I would just, you know, slap in my face, I was doing a good job. Babe, deep tissue massage is not lymphatic drainage, okay? Okay, also lymph nodes only drain on like one side of the neck and body, which a lot of people don't know. Understand the anatomy. Understand where the lymph nodes are. Go get trained by a professional so that if you want to do lymphatic drainage at home, you can care for your lymph nodes and not damage them. Or if you want to to do Gua Sha, you can do it with respect to traditional Chinese medicine and culture and actually do it properly for the benefits and maybe not bruise up your skin, even though that was the intentional way it was used. I see so many people taking Gua Shas and they're like, I'm gonna Gua Sha, but also lymphatic drainage. And they're like scraping it across their face and they're causing damage and bruising and it's not helping your lymph nodes. If anything, you're irritating and damaging the lymph nodes and they're trying to go at some deep tissue massage. The lymph nodes are very delicate. They need just a light, rhythmic touch. And Gua Sha can be used on the face, chest, or back, but it can be done very strategically. When I was learning from Sandra of Lanshin about Gua Sha, I always thought for like under eye puffiness that you would start at the inner corner and go to the outer corner. She was like, no, understand lymphatic drainage and how it works with Gua Sha. Go from the outer corner in. And it wasn't until I learned from an expert who has studied this and put that together with my knowledge of anatomy and physiology that I was like, holy this makes sense. And then what do you know, by the end of my lymphatic massage on myself with a Gua Sha with Sandra on an Instagram live stream, one of my under eyes was unpuffy. What the Gua Sha can be fantastic. Lymphatic drainage, fantastic. If it is done correctly. If done wrong, it can be painful, it can be irritating, or it can just be kind of ridiculous. Because remember, lymphatic drainage is not a Swedish deep tissue massage. If you want a Swedish or a Thai deep tissue massage, oh, babe, first off, take me with you. I want one too. But it is very, very different than if you're trying to work on a little bit of puffiness or kind of help out your immune system. And I mean, all of these things, I get it that they can feel advanced or they can feel very niche, but if you really want to take care of your skin and do it like a skintellectual or like an expert, learn and understand these things. Embrace your biology and make sure that you're doing the treatments in the ways that are best for your skin. And once you graduate to those next levels, if you know your skin, Dermaplane, Retinoid, do your lymphatic drainage or your Gua Sha, do what makes you happy. But I feel like if I knew these things, I would have been so much better off so many years before. And as I see so many people complaining about the damage that has happened to them on TikTok or on Instagram from trying these things, if they knew some of these seemingly minor details, it may have saved them and their skin a ton of headaches, or what would that be? Keratinocyte aches? Because like your skin cells are aching? I guess it wouldn't be the keratinocytes, it would be the Schwann cells, because those are the ones that like pain receptors and touch receptors in skin. But that's another very detailed biology and anatomy conversation for another day. I hope this helped. Details are in the description. My actual approved products like vegan Selimo jelly, a dermaplaner that actually fucking works, and Lanshin's Gua Shas are listed here as well as in the description. And always remember to stay hydrated, both oily and topically. Reapply that SPF because none of these other treatments matter if you don't. And always remember to be beYoutiful both inside and out. I love you and I cannot wait to see you in this next video or in the comments if you want to tell me your horror stories and the things that you did that accidentally made your skin worse. Please tell me and tell everybody else in the beYoutiful butterfly community so that we can learn from your mistakes and vice versa. Love you guys. Bye.